I'm here today with Asolvi CEO Nick Barnett and Head of Business Development Tony Milford. Welcome both. Thank you for joining me.
Great to be here. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Nick, you recently joined Asolvi as its new CEO, and you've spent the last few months engaging with colleagues across all of your regions and getting to know your customers. So what are your initial impressions of the industry?
Yeah, it's a great question. I've been here now just for 2 months, so it's not that long. And in that time, I've already visited 8 or 9 of our different locations, 4 or 5 in the UK, and another 5 or 6 across our European markets, including Germany, Spain, and the Nordics. And my impressions of the business are really exciting. We've got so much potential and so much, frankly, untapped potential that we think we can really harness over the next few months. We take quite strong positions in the sectors in which we operate. So that's obviously the copy, print, workplace technology sector, but also other sectors like fire and security, utilities, and highways and civils, and providing software solutions in those sectors. And across each of our main geographies, we have really strong dominant players in all of those fields. So I see lots of potential and lots of excitement ahead.
And what will your main priorities be for 2024?
Well, that's interesting because as many of you know, Asolvi is a business that's growing partly through organic growth, but also largely through acquisition. So as a group now, we have quite a lot of diverse products, and we're in the process at the moment of trying to identify which ones are the real future gem products that we want to invest in, and working out how to consolidate those so we can have a core product set that really suits our customers' needs and that we can invest in the future.
Tony, AI has fast become a buzzword, and it seems to be permeating every single area of the technology space. How do you see AI impacting your product portfolio and perhaps the wider technology channel as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's 12 months or so since ChatGPT hit the mainstream, and it's amazing the progress that on its own has made. We're investigating and utilising various forms of AI across the whole of our business, from marketing and sales through to support and operations. But in terms of our roadmaps, it will have a significant acceleration effect, I think, hopefully on speed of development, on the quality of code, with the ability to use AI for enhanced testing and similar sort of technological solutions that will enable us to do more quickly. And I think it's equally interesting in the workplace technology space. The manufacturers are obviously looking and using AI in their print engines for things like image enhancement and so on. And then you've got the whole area of using AI to monitor endpoints for security solutions, right through to augmented reality and AI from a product perspective, giving us the ability to put more powerful tools in the hands of engineers, and also help administration and operations people to do their jobs more effectively.
Tony, Vantage Online and MySalesDrive combined offer a compelling proposition to the print channel. In particular, the environmental mapping functionality built into MySalesDrive. What plans do you have for both of those products? And how do you see the solutions helping resellers navigate what is essentially an uncertain future?
Absolutely, and they are both two really great products, as you'd expect me to say, but they're better together than they even are apart, if you like. So traditionally Asolvi have been mainly in the service and contract management solution space, but MySalesDrive was a obvious complementary add-on to our services, and the whole proposition is basically arranged around making life easier for dealers and distributors, such that they don't have to have multiple systems, unjoined up systems, in order to deliver the services they want to offer. In terms of the environmental ESG, ESR offerings, you're right, MSD has a really cool set of features that enable dealers to put together proposals that elevate and bring to the fore the positive environmental impacts that optimization of MPS and print fleets can bring to the end users. And as I'm sure everyone knows, especially in the larger space, local authorities, large corporates, the importance of the environmental credentials of their suppliers is now right at the top of the lists of the selection criteria. So we can help dealers effectively make sure that they are bringing that to the fore in a way that helps them retain and win more business.
So Nick, it's fair to say that the print market has a number of distinct requirements when it comes down to service management solutions. Asolvi's solutions are obviously purpose-built to address these. But there's also a lot of larger blue chip organisations offering generic ERP-based solutions, for example. What's your sort of take on the generalist versus specialist choice when it comes down to ERP and service management? Sure.
I mean, obviously we take a slightly biased view on this because of where we are, but we would certainly apply the sort of general themes that a specialist is always better than a generalist for meeting your needs, and the devil is in the detail, especially in some of the larger fleets of copy print requirements. We're obviously well aware of large ERP players that are building in capabilities and looking at supporting some of the people that we've worked with on a daily basis. And we get that as a sort of trend, but we have actually seen quite an interesting reverse of that trend as well, where a number of customers that we've worked with for years have taken steps to implement ERP systems as a replacement product. And after 2 or 3 years of effort, have actually come back to us and implemented our solutions because they recognise they fit the need better for what they're trying to do. So obviously we take a lot of comfort from that and hope that trend can continue in the future.
Nick, Asolvi is essentially a buy and build business. You've made acquisitions in the UK, Nordics, DACH, and I think most recently Spain. How do you juggle these products within the vertical markets you serve, and actually how do you choose which ones to internationalise?
Yeah, it's a challenge, is the honest answer. We have, as I mentioned earlier, we have a lot of products, but we tend to try and identify which are the main sort of dominant products that we can use per vertical. So we operate in 4 core verticals: the workplace technology vertical, fire and security, utilities, and highways and civils. And in each of those, we have a very strong product offering. In copy print, workplace technologies, we actually have quite a broad portfolio just there. As Tony was saying, the combination of things like Vantage Online with MySalesDrive, by combining those 2 products together, you actually get more than the sum of the parts. So we're trying to identify which are the core products in each of those verticals. And many of them only actually operate in 1 or 2 of our markets. So once we've identified that core product set, we can then internationalize it across the footprint, which I think is where many of our opportunities will come from in the next 2 to 3 years.
The print market is a mature one, and it's a sector that we've seen a lot of consolidation, mergers, acquisitions over the past few years. But that said, there seems to be an influx of new entrants in the market. Is that your experience?
Yeah. It is, to be honest. I think last 12, 18 months in the UK, we've probably seen, I think 10 or 12 businesses perhaps spun out of or launched by people who were previously working for companies that were acquired. Some of that is driven by serial entrepreneurs. Some of it's driven by salespeople who are really good at their job and are perhaps not quite as comfortable working in a larger organisation as they were in a smaller, more agile business where perhaps they had a little bit more autonomy. So, I've been in this business for over 25 years now. I think everyone would agree things tend to go in cycles. People get acquired, they split off, they set up. It's a really dynamic market, but yeah, we are seeing that as one trend, and I think the other trend is the closure of the gap, shall we say, between workplace technology, managed print, and IT. You see a few attempts at IT businesses coming into the print space, but you're also obviously, for obvious reasons, seeing managed print and workplace technology companies looking to diversify their offering and moving into aspects of IT, and that presents opportunities on both sides, I think.
Actually, that's really interesting to hear, Tony. Nick, you're obviously newer to the sector. What do you think? What are your impressions?
One of the exciting trends that we're seeing in general is obviously through COVID, the copy print space particularly just took a hammering. I mean, I think it's quite obvious that everybody knew that. When no one's in offices, no one's using any of the equipment that's there. So it was a difficult sector for everyone in the industry. But I think there's a very clear acceleration of a back to work or back to the office style mentality. And we're seeing that in the UK, we're seeing it across Europe, we're seeing lots of trends of that happening in the US as well. And I think as that acceleration of people back into an office environment continues and continues to gather pace, that creates obviously just future demand for all elements of workplace technology. So I think that's also why we're seeing more new entrants in the market, because they're now capitalising on that wave of new excitement and new activity across the industry.
Tony, Nick, thank you so much. That was really interesting. You've made some great points, and I look forward to seeing what you're going to be doing with MySalesDrive and Vantage Online in the coming months and year.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it.